Hello, and welcome to Quiz Coconut's Quickfire Quiz Pod with me, James Cutler. 7 years ago, I launched Quiz Coconut, and we've since hosted over 2,000 pub quiz nights. Each episode, I pick 10 of our best questions so you can improve your general knowledge, boost your brain power, and learn some useful and useless facts. Answers will be revealed at the end of the episode, and there's one rule: don't use Google.
Use your coconut!
Welcome back to Quiz Coconut's Quickfire Quiz Pod, Season 4, Episode 4, 10 questions, 15 points. Here we go. Question 1. True or false? A duck's quack doesn't echo. A popular thing people say, you've heard it before. Is it true or false? On to number 2. In the game of Scrabble, how many tiles do you have at the start of your turn? As we go through the quiz pod, if you need more time with anything, just press pause and press play when you're ready to carry on. Number 3. Which of these weighs more? A baseball or an ice hockey puck? Now, number 4 is a geography question. I love a geography question. We've got people listening to this quiz pod all over the world in over 70 countries. And in fact, we just passed 1,000 downloads in Australia. Thanks for tuning in wherever you are in the world. Here we go with the question. 3 points for this one. Can you name the 3 countries in the world that have a capital city that starts with the letter O? There are 3, and I'll give you a point for each one you can get right. Question 5. Time for some music. It's the return of the steel tongue drum. This is a hip-hop classic from the 90s. I'll give you 1 point for the name of the song and another point for the artist. Here it is. Press rewind if you need to hear that again. Number 6. I'll say this a couple of times. What relation to you is your father's brother's child's brother's sister's brother? And I'll say that again slowly. What relation to you is your father's brother's child's brother's sister's brother? With more random questions than your Google search bar, you're listening to Quiz Coconut's Quickfire Quiz Pod. On to number 7. Which is the most expensive animal to keep at the zoo? Number 8. What was the name of the Sherpa who climbed Mount Everest with Edmund Hillary? Number 9. What is going to come crashing down into the Pacific Ocean in 2031? Now, if you're listening to this in February 2022, you may have just read this in the news. If you're listening in 2031, it might have just happened. And question 10, 3 points here. Cryptic green foods. I'm going to give you cryptic clues to the names of 3 different green foods. For example, if I said, this green food makes Popeye really strong, you would say spinach. Here we go. The first one is, this sounds like you get paid for your job in this vegetable. This sounds like you get paid for your job in this vegetable. The second one. This is the number of years that your taxi has. This is the number of years that your taxi has. And the third one, messy lake. Messy lake. If you need more time, folks, just press pause and press play when you're ready for today's bad joke.
This is today's bad joke.
What's the difference between COVID-19 and Romeo and Juliet? One's a coronavirus, the other one's a Verona crisis.
That was today's bad joke.
Here come the answers. Mark your own score. 15 points available. Number 1. Ducks' quacks do echo, just like any other sound, so that statement is false. Number 2. You start a turn in Scrabble with 7 tiles. Number 3. A baseball weighs 149 grams. An ice hockey puck is 168 grams, so the puck is slightly heavier. Question 4, 3 points here for your capital cities beginning with O. Oslo in Norway for 1 point. Ottawa in Canada for 1 point. And Ouagadougou in Burkina Faso for 1 point. Well done if you got all 3. Number 5, that song was the classic No Diggity for 1 point by Blackstreet for the 2nd point. Also featuring Dr. Dre, I'll give you a point if you put him down. Be wary though, he's not a real doctor. Number 6, well, your father's brother's child is your cousin, and so then the brother's sister's brother of that child would still be a cousin. So the answer is cousin, specifically first cousin. Number 7, the most expensive animal to keep at the zoo is the panda. It is about 5 times the cost of keeping an elephant. Number 8, the Sherpa who climbed Mount Everest was Tenzing Norgay. Number 9, in 2031, the International Space Station is due to crash into the Pacific Ocean at a place called Point Nemo, which is in fact the furthest place on the planet from any civilization. There's not a single human being for 22 million square kilometres, of course, apart from those in the space station when they fly over it. Nerd alert! And number 10, your cryptic foods. So the first one, sounds like you get paid for your job in this vegetable, sounds like a salary. How about celery? For 1 point. The second one, the number of years that your taxi has. Well, that is, of course, the age of your cab, or your cab age, cabbage, for the 2nd point. And the third one, messy lake. Messy means it's an anagram of lake. You jumble up the letters in lake and you get kale. 1 point for each one that you get there. There we go, another quiz pod complete. 15 points available. Did anyone get 15? Whatever your score is, we'd love to hear from you. Get in touch, quizpod@quizcoconut.com. We will be back next week for our season finale. We are welcoming Hannah and Joshua to play for real cash. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed today's quiz, why not book us for your next event? We host corporate events in the UK and Canada and virtual events all over the world. And don't forget to subscribe to the Quiz Pod so you never miss an episode. We'll see you next week. Quiz Coconut, nuts about trivia.